You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello everyone, welcome.
Good evening.
We have, as per usual, Toy Matthew in the chat, Takar 3, Lane. You're all here, boys. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
It has been a funny old couple of weeks, but we are back and we are here. So it's a bit of a different one today. We're going to do our normal shenanigans, and then we'll have a look at some of the stuff that we think may be a contender for Figure of the Year.
Yeah, we're out of our national mourning period, and we are good to go.
It's really fucked the week up. I don't know whether or not I'm coming or going.
No, I know.
That surprise bank holiday is really put the cat amongst the pigeons, because all this week I've been like, right, it's Monday today. Oh no, it's not.
No,
it's
not.
actually now Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
When do I put the bins out? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
My bins they've been out for 2 days.
Yeah, see, I put one out tonight, thinking it's tomorrow, and I just remembered that it's Saturday. They can stay out there.
Yeah. I literally was like, do I put, because they go on a Thursday, and I was like, yeah, I'll put them out. And I was like, are they going to? And I thought, well, worst case now, they're out for fucking 2 days. Like that.
That's what I thought. I did look it up, and then I forgot, and you just reminded me.
But I looked it up, and my counsel was like, we're just not acknowledging it. We're just gonna wing it to see what happens.
Fair enough. They might not turn up at all.
No, exactly that. So, and I that's what everyone wants to do. The whole 6 people viewing are like, yeah, that's what I came here on a Thursday night to do, is to listen to these two fuckers talk about bins.
Yeah, and you got to remember what ones. Is it green bin? Is it recycling? Is it general waste?
I've just chucked them both out because I ain't got a fucking clue anymore. Yeah. No idea. Throw them both out, and they just take whichever one they want.
They won't take. Yeah, the one that isn't, they won't take, and you'll be like, that's the one that wasn't. Yeah,
exactly. So let's have a look at the one new release in
New releases.
It's a bit of an anti-climax, that whole new releases for the one new release.
I think so. Check the street. You look at everyone else's. You're like going, what bins? Oh, they've got that.
Yeah, but every people around my age leave their fucking.
They'll get it wrong
in a way. So everyone gets it wrong. Like,
yeah, some of ours do. So we've got one new release, which is a banger and a figure that I'm very tempted with, but the price is putting me off. So it's the I don't know, Infinite Studios Caustic Plastic Bela Lugosi as Dracula. So from the 1931 film Dracula. So this came out a couple of weeks ago, I think, and there's been a few shot in the middles from Joshua Geyer. He got hold of it, and I think the two on the sides are from a show recently. I think it's come out really well. It's
does look really good.
Yeah, it's quite a simple figure, but obviously it's all about the quality of the outfit. And the outfit's been done by G Wiz, so we know their stuff's really good. And if you commissioned that as a bespoke piece, it probably cost you 3 times what the figure's costing. So we've got there's 3 versions. There's a standard version, which is pretty much as you see him there. He comes with like a dragon candelabra and the hands. Then you've got the deluxe, which comes with a coffin, which he can. So it's polystone, so it's quite heavy, and he can fit inside that. And then the exclusive is the coffin, and also then a second base that's got Bela Lugosi's tombstone on it, which is quite nice. But so you look at 235, about 235 for the standard, 280 for the deluxe, and 300 for the exclusive. The exclusive's 200, only 200. So it's quite a. I think if you want the coffin, I think it's worth going the extra 20 quid for the exclusive to get the second base as well. So yeah, I'm really tempted, and I keep looking around, trying to see. I went to Caustic Plastic's own site, but the problem is they've got the price there, but then it's I think it's €40 to send it to the UK because they're based in Italy,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at the customs on top of that as well. And I just thought I can't really.
So if you went the 300 one, you're looking at about 400 by the time.
Yeah, and even
it's
£300
£100 off my first car.
Yeah, even £300 like hurts me a bit. I mean, it's a quality figure, and I do really like it, but it's just a bit. Yeah.
You can almost talk yourself around to 300, but when you go 400 with all in with everything, that's when it gets a little bit like, don't know if I can do it.
I even had a look at the Blunderland have got him, and they've got a free shipping thing, but it doesn't apply to him. So I might have risked it. $195 it was, but it doesn't apply to him. So, but yeah, it's nice. He's got a magnetic base.
I'm liking the way more companies are doing that.
Yeah, I think it's quite cool. He's got 2 head sculpts, so like that's the sort of the stoic face, and then there's one where he's got like a slight grin. I think the general consensus is this one's the better one, but if you get 2 head sculpts, it's a bonus. So I've gone backwards and forwards over it for the last week because I just think it'd be really nice to have him. Justin did his usual review type thing, but he's got a pose at the end where he's got him holding his cape out, and I just think that'd be really nice to have behind all of the NECA universe monsters that I'm collecting. Yeah, so really the story's not over yet. I may end up caving, but I'm just sort of
We both clicked it. Yeah, so Caffeinated Coffee Fan, did you see that they're in the final stage of a trade deal with Oz, so soon we'll get tax-free figures from Pop Culture? That would be quite handy, because their prices are pretty good. It's just when you add the tax on, you go, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
But mind you, postage to Australia kicks your ass. Like last time I posted saying to Australia was about 90 quid.
Yeah.
So it might be tax-free, but actually if international shippage in most places is like 40 quid, and then you're picking up like 50 quid's worth of import fees, you're not really any better off. No.
So, so unless, I'll keep my eyes open. If one comes up on the boards or something for maybe like $250 with the coffin, I'd jump on that. But if for the moment I'm going to, I've called my heels at the moment because it's just a bit much. I don't really want to sell anything. I've not really got anything I want to sell at the moment. So,
mate, I'm tempted to have a proper clear out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I think I haven't really got any of those sort of odd figures that I could just say I can easily take them out and sell them. I think everything now is part of a collection, and I think if I sell that, then I'll sell that, and
If I went back a year ago, I'd be like, nope, I've got my Batman stuff, I really like that. I've got a couple of these odd figures like the Guyver and Indy and Predator, I really like those. I've got my Evil Dead stuff, I've got my Star Wars stuff, I've got like my prequels, my main, my Empire, I've got this, I've got that, I've got the quarter scale Vader, and I was like, no, I'm fucking well happy with that. I love it, it's all fantastic, and actually stuff has started to spiral out of control price wise with everything. It's taken some of the love out of it for me. So
I can see that.
I kind of like look at my collection now and I go, there's pieces there, and I called it a piece like a right pretentious prick. There's stuff there, there's figures there.
Piece of artwork,
Next I took some fucking gloves on. There's stuff there that I really like, right? And I wouldn't get rid of, even if I said, right, I'm not collecting anything from now on. There's stuff there that I would keep. Like Indy, I'd keep. My Empire stuff, I would keep. A lot of the original trilogy style stuff would stay.
Yeah.
Stuff like my Indy would definitely stay. My Batman stuff would probably go. There's only a few bits there that I'd be like, actually, I'm quite keen on keeping that. But the most of it, I could fuck off. And even my quarter scale Vader, I could go, okay, very nice having it. It's great. It takes up a whole cube. Away we go. So the next couple of months, I've just got to kind of have a look at what's incoming and whittle that down to maybe just the Back to the Future stuff. Start shifting off a few bits and pieces and kind of in the new year go, okay, I'm getting more into Warhammer. Do I want to buy more of that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And as I paint that stuff, it seems a shame just to shove it in a box. If I could free up a cube, I could have a cube of that and keep my 6-scale stuff, but have it a bit more focused. So it's weird. At the moment, I'm kind of halfway in, halfway out, but there's not much even coming out. I'm thinking, I'm that excited for like I used to be.
I can say I kind of understand what you mean about it sort of taking a bit of the love out of it. I think because it makes me feel like my collection is a bit stuck. So whereas before you could say, right, 150, 200, I'll pick that figure up and add it. Now it's very much like, well, I can't really justify 300 quid unless I can sell another figure, and then that sort of diminishes the collection I've got. It's a much more considered purchase now, so I think that's a bit of a shame. I'm lucky to have what I have got, because obviously the time we got into the hobby, we did all right, but certainly now it's scary, really. Like when you see some of the prices, the stuff that we're going to look at in a minute, and you just think, really? I mean, that seems like it's gone up like 100 quid almost in a year, some of it.
Perfect example is the tactical suit Batman.
Correct.
The reissue of that, and you look at it and go, like, that was 200 odd quid all day long.
And it's now nearly 300.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's an alright figure, but it's not 300 quid's worth. Like,
no.
And that's one of the biggest problems with all the reissues, is that it's great that people who haven't had a chance to get a figure can get a brand spanking new one. Like, all the power to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same figure that came out. And the thing is, if they were reissuing figures that came out 5, 10, 15 odd years ago, not a problem. There's going to be a massive difference in price. Some of these figures haven't been out that long, and you're looking at like £100 more, and you go, I get the pound's not doing too great. But even convert it into dollars, you go, that's still a big increase on what it was. And however the thing you chop it up.
Yeah, and it's like, we keep talking about all these new collectors, but who are these new collectors? Because I think if I just discovered this hobby now, and I saw that the going rate was £250, £300, I wouldn't be in it. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't have even embarked. I might have a few figures, but I couldn't even contemplate building the collection I've got now. So it's funny. It's like,
I get the impression a lot of people that are coming in now have started off with a smaller scale, have built up a smaller scale collection, and gone, right, I'm selling all of that to get 6-scale stuff. So they have that injection of cash which is sitting there. But the problem, as we all know, because we all get fucking hooked up in it, is you just keep going and going and going.
Yeah, and I know a lot of shows like Trevor Williams, 16 Shooter, had a show was saying, are people looking at sort of reducing the quantity of their collections and going for quality? So you might have this Dracula, you might have Gandalf, to represent. But I've always struggled with that, because to me, there's never really one character that exemplifies the whole genre. I couldn't just have a Luke. I've got to have, and then you get to a point where you're like, well, I've got everybody apart from this one. So I would find it very difficult. I know some people can do it, and that's cool. If you can have a collection of 10, 12 figures, then you're not going to worry too much that they might be £300-400 each. But yeah,
I find if you have stuff like Detoffs, right, it's easier to go, right, I'm going to have one figure of this, one figure of that, one figure of that, because you could have a couple of those at display cases, and ultimately you'll have like 9 figures. You raise them up off the floor, you light them properly, they look pretty good. The problem is, when you upgrade to something like this, where you've got these giant cubes, if I was to go, there's 9 cubes there with about 50 odd figures in it. If I was to turn around and go, I'm going to have one figure per cube, it looks fucking ridiculous.
Exactly.
Because there's so much space. So it's kind of like, I think if you if you've got the smaller display cases, it's easier to make those decisions because it looks better. Because they look terrible when they're crammed full of stuff. Probably two max a cube in those, really, for me.
Yeah.
It makes life easier to make those decisions. But as I've got this fucking thing, I'm kind of like, okay, because I get stuck between things looking right.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to explain. So if I said like this, actually it's a perfect example right behind me, is that I've got a scout trooper from the Mandalorian, Tarkin sitting on his ass, a New Hope stormtrooper, then I've got the Emperor, Return of the Jedi Luke, and Return of the Jedi Leia. Well, I've kind of tried to say to myself, the bottom bit's Return of the Jedi, the top bit's just some Imperial type nonsense. Yeah. But I'm stuck with that on a lot of them because of they're so big and trying to fit stuff in. Weird. It's just me rambling for a bit, really. But
so if anyone gets wind of a good deal on this Dracula, give me a shout, because I definitely would like to pick him up. But not preferably not at the £300 mark at the moment. But
yeah, they can fuck right off with that one.
Exactly.
Right, let's move on. Let's have a look at
coming soon.
Right, what we got? Oh, I swear I've seen this one before. So this is the Hot Toys Marvel Campus Spider-Man. This is the D23 exclusive, so we ain't got a price on it as of yet.
Yeah.
But I swear, if you put a cape on that, that's almost a what if Spider-Man.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, a bit of crafty reuse there. Stick a hoodie on it. Lovely.
Yeah.
Look, it looks okay. I've got no real interest.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think I said when we looked at the one with the cape that I quite
straight to the point.
Say how you see it, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wank in that they've kind of basically reused that. I don't mind the figure. I think it's a decent, okay suit. I quite like the sort of retro looking silver wrist things, but I don't think I'd use any of the accessories.
Google Chinese Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, because he had giant, like, spangly bracelets on.
Yeah.
It looks all right.
It's okay. But as I say, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't display him with all the hoodie and on all that sort of stuff. So
no.
You get a churro and a can of soda.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Sorry, the college films I've seen are completely different.
Right.
That wouldn't be a churro.
No.
Oh, that's it. Japanese. Sorry, not Chinese.
Japanese. Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, he's the one that we used to be on in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the spangles.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're so fucking infused by that one.
It's just another bit of a lazy Hot Toys release, isn't it? And they've been doing quite a bit of that lately.
There's a hell of a lot of reuse and there's a hell of a lot of reissuing.
A reissue, you say?
Yeah, which leads us in nicely to this one. So, as we mentioned before, the Justice League Tactical Suit Batman, $290 at Q4 2023 to Q1 2024. I've seen it before. I mean, the base, I don't think the base is new either.
No, I can't remember. I mean, they're saying they've got updated paint apps, so they're gonna say it's a 2.0. But I mean, it's not been that long since we had the original one, and I'm not a massive fan of this armor, to be honest. I think the glasses look really weird.
It reminds me a lot of the owl guy from
Watchmen.
Watchmen. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Night Owl. But it's the price, isn't it? Like we were saying that it's
$290. That's fucking
$290, and it's pretty basic. I mean, you get the base, but as you say, it's probably the same base. I don't know, did it come with that, or did it come with one of those weird ramp bases that all those?
I think it
Justice
came with
League.
a ramp base, but there's another figure that's come with that exact same
Probably.
dick holding monster.
Yeah,
I cannot remember. I can't remember which one it was, but I've definitely seen that base before. 100%.
Yeah, so again, I don't know why. I know we've obviously had the Nightmare Batman and the Black Suit Superman recently, so maybe they think that there's some sort of bandwagon for Justice League, and obviously they've rebadged it as Zack Snyder's Justice League as well. So
such a crock of shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Such a crock of shit.
Yeah.
You call it what you want. Like,
and I think if you really, really want this, just get hold of the old one, because some people will be selling it on to get this one. If you can get that for under 200, I think that's a better shout than waiting, best part of 18 months for this one to come out.
Yeah. It just it's just, I don't know anyone who's clambering for this figure. No. Like, it's readily available. It's on the groups every 5 fucking minutes. Like, I don't get it. I just do not understand it. But
no,
some fuckers will buy it and they keep doing it. So happy days. This next one though is way better as far as I'm concerned. So Locutus from X06. So we can finally have a price at $240, Q1 to Q2 2023. So just round the corner.
Yeah.
I really like this.
This is quite up your street.
Very much so. If I had a normal Picard, this would be one. Yeah, I'd get excited for this.
Yeah.
But for me to dip my toe into the next gen line, this is a weird one to start with.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to put it with anything.
No, the problem is going to be with XO6 is if you skip on them, you won't get them.
No.
Because they're in very small numbers. I mean, they might make 400 or 500 this guy. So it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like that whole thing where people say, if you want the line, support the line, and quite often they come out with these odd ones to start with. And I get it's probably an exercise in like, can we do it? And they've done a really good job. Looks great, but as you say, you run that risk that you buy this one and then they don't complete the line. And I know Nanjin's very much like, I am going to complete the lines, but then sometimes he goes off his nut, doesn't he, and starts going, I'm just going to jack it all in and all this sort of thing. So there is that little bit of like,
and that's what stopped me pulling my trigger. Is because he's been known to throw his toys at his pram. I just think, well, what happens if he does?
He could do it.
I want a next gen bridge crew. So before I even start to look at stuff like Locutus and fucking the trumpet playing edition of Riker and all this kind of stuff. I want a basic bridge crew. Give me the bridge crew. I'll quite happily chuck money at you. But I need the bridge crew first before I start going down. This, because next week they just release like Troy's mother and shit.
Yeah,
like
this is the thing, and I really want to support them, and I want to order some figures with them. But for me, it's all about the original series or the movies, and we still haven't had anything. And we've had lots of teases and for Ruther Khan and motion picture and stuff, but we still haven't got any. We still haven't had. They've done the Mirror Spock and Mirror Sulu.
But again, they're really weird.
They are really weird.
Choices.
It's one episode, and we've got loads of Voyager, and we've got some Discovery, and we've got Enterprise. But I think at some point, exactly, next gen and original series, what people really want. So I don't really know why we're sort of 2 years into this and we still haven't got any of that stuff. So I don't know. Caffeinated Comic Fans, what was the drama over the Cisco and limited batch numbers? I don't know, to be honest. I must have missed that one. But anytime anyone sort of makes any constructive criticism, Nanjin seems to go off on one and say, well, I'm not making any money from this. I'm doing this because I want these figures, blah blah.
He's not a fucking charity.
No,
People
exactly.
He does realise that. Like,
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah,
actually, He's actually selling these. Like,
yes,
he's
I know.
obviously. This is how he makes his living.
Yeah, there's got to be a living in there somewhere.
He's not doing this. He's not doing this in the bottom of his garden in a fucking shed. Like, he's not doing us a favour. We're paying for this shit.
And I think he's a great guy, and I think he's said on the forums and stuff that basically he wants to build up some money. So he's making some money off of these because he wants to build a school in his village, which is brilliant. But at the same time, you know, I think we need to don't run the risk of losing buyers by kind of just going, well, you know, I don't have to do this. Well,
it doesn't make me want to.
No, you could end up with a sort of really random bunch of figures if you did pull the plug. And,
look at everything that happened with the last company.
Well, this is the thing. It doesn't.
And you just think, just wind your neck in.
And they screwed him, and he was very, very critical of them. But yeah, don't become that same thing that.
I mean, look, I've got nothing but respect for the guy. Like, he's bringing us Star Trek figures, but let's not sit here and pretend that he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. He's making money here.
Yeah, there is a business.
That's
there
the point.
Exactly.
We can't on this show. We can't shit all over people like Hot Toys, and then not do the same thing.
No.
For other companies, just because they're doing something that no one else is.
And I want to order some figures, but the ones I want haven't come up for order yet.
Mate,
so
I just want that bridge crew so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, if tomorrow you announce the bridge crew, half the shit behind me.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye. Exactly. And I want the Ruther Khan trio, and I'd find some stuff to sell for that, you know, because you would if it was like that important to you.
I've signed up for Paramount Plus. And I've gone through, and I've got all the way up to the Tom Hardy Star Trek film.
Oh, yeah, Nemesis, yeah.
Nemesis. I've got right up to Nemesis. I've just got to finish watching that one off, and I've watched them all again. Mm-hmm. But those original series films, I've probably only seen them once or twice a piece.
Okay,
Such a long time ago that I'd forgotten all about them. I fucking loved it. Wrath of Khan was fucking amazing. It was
It's one of my favourite movies of all time, of anything, Love it, absolutely love it.
Search for Spock fucking cracked me up. Like, it was a good film, but the bit that it was like, oh, Kirk's got a son. What are we going to do? Oh, he's dead. Don't worry. He's gone. He's fucked. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's like, side point, gone.
I love that crew. Even the shittier film, like 5, is not a good film, but I still enjoy it because it's got those guys in it, and you know,
it's watchable.
It's watchable. Exactly.
It's effectively like 5 or 6 films where just everyone's going to Jim Kirk. You're getting a bit older, probably pack it in a bit, and he's like, "Nah, I don't think I will." Well, I'm an admiral. I don't like being an admiral. I want to be a captain.
Yeah,
he just pretty much fucks off every subsequent captain of the Enterprise because he's like, nope.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're captain now. Not anymore. I'm going to steal it. I'll be captain, but
exactly that.
Lane, would you get into the movie figures? Well, yeah, I want Kirk, Spock, and Bones from Ruther Khan, no doubt. I'll buying them. Love you too, Kens.
Thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you very much. Very generous, Andre.
Thank you.
Yeah, so and I would consider the same in the motion picture, but that would be. Second to Ruther Khan because I just love it so much and I love those uniforms and that for me is like that's Trek to me, it's anyway. So they've also teased Dakota from Voyager as I suppose the next figure to come up for pre-order.
See, I quite like Voyager, but Chakotay was such a useless character, and apparently it was all because he pissed the writers off. The actor pissed the writers off,
right?
Complaining that he wasn't getting enough scenes, his character wasn't getting enough lines, and he wasn't in enough episodes. So they just stopped writing him into stuff. So he ended up just standing around a lot and not really doing much of anything. Yeah, he had a big falling out with him. Just fucked himself over because he could have been a really cool character, but he was just Janeway's bitch for like 90% of it.
Yeah.
There's so many other better characters in Voyager than Chakotay, but if you're into Voyager and you want the bridge crew, you kind of need to pick them up.
Yeah, and it's a lot further along than the Next Gen or the original series bridge crew, so you might stand a chance with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Voyager fan. I don't know too much about it. I mean, as with all of them, the uniform looks fantastic.
Shrink ray.
Yeah.
Proper shrink ray.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of the materials and stuff on the outfits, I think there's no doubt. Some people have said some of the head sculpts aren't that great, but I haven't seen anything that's awful, to be honest. Maybe the Burnham wasn't great, but yeah, some of the other stuff, like the Q, looked brilliant, like really good. And again,
9 looked a little bit ropey, like I weren't.
Yeah.
But at certain angles it looked okay, and then others.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, you've got Q and you haven't got, Picard and Worf yet, and it's just, it's a weird. So anyway, so that's coming soon. We don't have a price or anything, but they're normally around the 200, 190, 200 mark for
looks like melted cheese.
Yeah, so about that 180 to 200 probably because it'll be a fairly basic figure, just with the usual phaser and some hands, maybe a tricorder. So,
I don't know what else you would give him.
No.
Because he did fuck all. I don't know what else you would give him.
He hasn't got like a Native American sort of carved weapon that he pulls out on occasion.
No, there was a lot of like spirit guide stuff, if I remember.
Right. Yeah.
But then I can't remember if that was before or after he pissed everyone off. What they should have given him was a fucking personality. Never mind accessories.
Yeah.
So fucking boring. But yeah, that's Chakotay. So, in caustic plastic again.
Yes. Yeah.
Twin Peaks, Agent Dale Cooper. So standard, 260. Deluxe, 350.
Yeah.
And exclusive, £370 plus your firstborn child. And that's at Q2 2023.
It's eye-watering, really.
For a man in a raincoat, fuck yeah, it is. Like,
yeah.
Thank you very much, Lane.
Oh wow!
Did Starlight melt your dude's glass? Yeah, Starlight was fucking appalling. Like, we've not even added it in. It was that fucking bad.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. It didn't even register when I was putting together the show. The So-So Toys one is like 1,000,000 times better and half, well, probably a third of the price. Yeah. So to be honest, I mean, we talked a little bit about this because I teased it on the last show. I think I'm a massive Twin Peaks fan. I love Twin Peaks. Dale Cooper, yeah, he's a great Carl McCock is great character. Yeah, you're right. Man in a suit in a raincoat. He comes with a lot of cool accessories and stuff. But basically, the difference between the three of them, the standard one is basically just him with with his gun, his torch, the coffee mug, because he's obviously drinks a lot of coffee in the show. He's quite famous for that. And he comes with the dossier, 6-scale dossier of like all the photos and everything that you see under his arm, with the magnetic base from the lodge, the black and white thing, and then the deluxe comes with the Laura Palmer base, so the little bit of the shoreline with the water and Laura Palmer wrapped in plastic as she's found, and then the exclusive one comes with a one-to-one version of the dossier with all the crime stuff and everything, and it's limited to 200. I don't think it's as desirable as the Dracula one if you went for the exclusive, because you get the extra base as well. This you get the extra base with the deluxe, and it's just the extra 1-to-1 scale crime file that you get.
I never quite understand when 6-scale companies give you 1-to-1 scale accessories. I collect 6-scale. I don't collect film props.
No, it's a bit odd, and you could probably get that somewhere else if you wanted to. I'm sure people have made those.
Any prick with a photocopier can give you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not exclusive if it's something you can print off at home. Like,
yeah.
Go down to fucking Staples, buy yourself a folder, photocopy a load of shit, shove it in, stick it behind the figure. There you go, save yourself like 20, 30 quid.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's just to throw in there to give you something, and what you're paying for really is that it's a limited to 200, and I think you get like a different box or something. The same with the Dracula, you get like a hand painted. It's not been hand painted, but it's
because what I do is in my loft is all the exclusive boxes. They just go in a slightly different pile.
Yeah,
to the 25 other boxes I've got shoved up there.
Yeah.
But it helps me sleep at night because they're just above my head, and I can just go,
Yeah,
the exclusive shit's just up in the loft there, that box. That's one way to do that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Unless you're going to display it, then what does the box matter at all?
Yeah, and if you're displaying the boxes, there's something fucking mentally wrong with you. Like,
yeah.
Just, no.
But, the prices shocked me a little bit.
It's just so much. Like, it is so fucking much.
Yeah.
And, it makes me sound like a right poor prick, but $3.70... 20 quid for a £2.50 folder and some bits of printed paper.
Yeah.
Don't piss on my shoe and tell me it's raining. That's you're taking the piss there. But then now we go to the more reasonable side of the world. So the Premier Toys Marauder, 160 quid, and then they do the Wasteland motorcycle as well for 110. This is Q1 2023. I really like both of these. That's more like it. I spend 260 if I get a fucking motorbike and a figure.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the bad guy from Mad Max 2. First one, second one, second one.
So.
I never realised he had arseless chaps, which is quite a nice touch.
Just with the flap.
It's gone commando, just the flap, just to cover the sphincter. It's good. I think he looks pretty cool, actually. I mean, it does look like the guy from the film. It's pretty good likeness.
Present Toys cool. Just fucking killing it. Like their likenesses are really good. Their figures are generally quite well tailored. The likenesses are pretty good. They're reasonably priced. They're doing pretty well. Yeah.
No, it looks good. I like it. Definitely, if I had a Mad Max, I'd be looking at getting this guy. Saddle saw, yeah.
Saddle saw, fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant, saddle saw. But yeah, I'm quite liking this. It's just a shame I didn't really like the Mad Max films.
No, I'm not.
I like the Mel Gibson ones. Not a big fan of.
Well, that's what this is from.
Oh, is this the?
Yeah. This is from the. Yeah, this is from the Mel Gibson one. I think it's the second one.
I don't know if I've seen the first one. I've seen the one with Tina Turner. Which one's that?
It might even be that one, to be honest. But it's definitely the Mel Gibson versions.
I need to go back and watch them again.
Yeah.
Like they all blend into one fucking thing.
Yeah, it's not the new one. It's definitely not the new one. It's
right. Yeah. That would probably explain the arseless chaps then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Budget cuts. They couldn't afford to buy him some underwear.
Yeah, what goes on in the Thunderdome stays in the Thunderdome.
You went. I just go arseless. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's hot. It's hot in Australia.
Yeah, no one told this cunt to walk away, did they?
It's Premier Toys. Yeah, but because they did a Mad Max. Okay, so pleather.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there is a lot of pleather there, and I suppose it's not necessarily just an issue. Like we don't have that issue about it degrading so much, like we talked about last time. But if it's really thin and poor quality, then obviously it's not going to look great, is it?
No. So. The thing is, until someone actually gets it in hand, we never know. But a lot of the other Premier Toy stuff has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it the Django was pretty shit. I think that was the one that Zach had, I think.
Right, okay, yeah.
But other than that, they've been pretty good. Oh, hello, Mark. Hello.
Oh, Mark.
Because I
Yeah.
want shit.
Well, yeah.
It is.
There's benefits to it.
Apart from the 40-degree fucking heat wave we had, but that was once in like 200 years. So
yeah,
we can't,
but it's
really
it's warming up
benchmark
though.
off of
It's
that.
warming up. It's going to become more of a thing
It is. It is.
as we
Fucking monster.
as we fry this earth to a crisp.
Exactly. Yeah, as we make like the whole equator uninhabitable.
Yeah, and if Putin fires his rockets, then it'll get fucking hot here.
Yeah, we're all fucked in a way. Don't know why
Yeah.
we're worried about fucking engine
Yeah.
prices.
Well, you and me should be in the blast zone if it hits London, so we won't know anything about it.
Yeah.
We won't be eating each other and fighting guys like this out in the wilderness.
No. Best case scenario, we mutate.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. Right.
Jesus.
So look, we got no group shenanigans.
No.
Everyone's been behaving. We got no custom corner because actually, I don't think I've worked on anything 6 scale for a little while now.
No, I haven't done anything. I haven't painted any miniatures or anything. I should do. I will be soon, but yeah, nothing for the moment.
No, I've been painting a few minis, but I've just not got enough really to go. Look what I've been up to. But yeah, I've not done anything 6 scale. I'm looking at my workbench going, oh, I've got loads I need to do. I've just not done it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Andor is finally here.
Yeah.
Now you're slightly ahead of me. I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
I watched all 3 last night. Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't mind it actually. I was a little bit I didn't get too hyped about it, only because I didn't really relate to the characters so much in Rogue One. I didn't really warm to him that much, and obviously for me, I felt it was very much more like Jyn Erso was obviously the standout kind of character in that. But as we say, you know, any Star Wars is even if it's Boba Fett, it still has its positive sides and it's entertaining. So I quite liked it. I definitely like the universe that it's in and the look of it, because obviously it's very much that like Rogue One just before A New Hope. So you've got some really sort of ancient looking sort of 70s computers and the graphics and all that sort of thing. I like that, and it's very much it's got a sort of it's a sort of espionage kind of he's an underground character that they're looking for him. He's kind of hiding in the shadows. He's doing his little bit of wheeling and dealing and trades and stuff.
It's a very lived in world.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it feels like it's been there forever. Like
yeah.
That's what I quite like about it. And like you say, because he's kind of making these little deals here and there. It's nice that we haven't gone right to the very beginning of his story. It feels like he's been doing this a while.
Yeah.
So that's what I quite like. I mean, the beginning was fucking fantastic. Like I really liked the first bit, particularly when he accidentally like does that guy. Yeah, I've been thoroughly enjoying the first 2 episodes. I like the fact they were quite slow.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that we've not really seen anything any of the stalwarts that we expect to see. Like you can see in the poster, you've got TIE fighters, you've got X-wings, you've got stormtroopers, but we haven't seen any of that. It's very much like its own thing. Kind of feels quite small and contained at the moment within like where they are. But yeah, I think obviously it's going to ramp up a bit, and we're going to see more of that, of like the bigger Star Wars world and everything. And yeah, I'm all for it.
So do you know what? I thought that as soon as Trevor from EastEnders popped up, I thought he's putting a bit of weight.
Oh, is that who it was? Because we were watching it. Me and my mate were watching it. I was like, I don't know who that is. I recognise the voice, but
he gets twatted in the face by Little Mo with an iron, because he was in the Batman as well. He played the commissioner in that.
Right.
That
okay.
got killed halfway through. So yeah, he's
right. Okay.
by the looks of it, he couldn't quite escape the whole Trevor thing over here, so he fucked off to the States. yeah. Because I think these first bits were filmed just down the road, weren't they? They were here in England.
Right.
Because about 2 years ago when they were filming it, there was all these pictures of them on piers and stuff. It was a seaside town they went to. I can't remember where it was. I know it was fairly close by.
I don't think it was Southend because I don't remember.
No, I think it was only a couple of hours drive away. It was somewhere close. They filmed a lot of it there, but yeah, I quite like it. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, there's a load of British actors in it that you see, and you go, hang on a sec. Yeah. You're not a Hollywood actor. What the fuck are you doing?
The thing I found weird, and I don't know if you know, what's the deal with the wall of gloves? That's a strange thing, isn't it?
It's completely fucking backward to me, because it's like they're going into a mine and going, I don't need PPE, I'm just going to hang it up here. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's probably the fuck you to health and safety wall that they've got, where it's like, no, I'm not wearing my fucking gloves. Fuck you, we're going to hang them up.
And it's like, why would
people
not
with
nick
third-degree
them?
burns.
Why would people not nick them? Because they're not. They just like hang them up, and they're all there the next morning. I know it's a stinky old pair of gloves, but surely in any world, someone would just nick them for a laugh, wouldn't they?
Because they haven't done a really good job of explaining that, and that bugs me. I was like, what the fuck's all that about? I get it if it was like they took their coats off or something, or something that they wore there to take off, but all the gloves are pretty much exactly the same as well.
But it would be, they'd hang it up inside where they are, wouldn't they? Not on the outside wall.
Yes.
I don't understand it. I get it's visually interesting, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I want to know what the fuck that is about.
Like,
yeah.
What is it they're doing in there?
Yeah.
They don't need gloves. But they then need gloves when they come out.
And they're so stinky or contaminated that no one would nick them. No one
I
would
reckon.
touch them or...
I reckon there's a big alien in there just with 1,000 cocks. It takes like 1,000 guys just to jack them off. So they hang all their gloves up on the way in, and they come out. They're so ashamed and so like their hands are so covered in spunk. They've got to put the gloves back on. To then they're spunk miners is what they are.
And nobody's gonna want to touch them.
No,
I was talking to Spike. I watched the final episode of The Boys.
You did. It's good.
When that guy gets covered. That's disgusting.
Absolutely fucking mullered. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to need a shower.
I tell you, The Boys was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, mate, yeah.
That series was
talk about pushing boundaries, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the last series of The Boys, and I've just started... Well, I still need to finish off The Umbrella Academy. I've got a few episodes.
Yes, that's really good, yeah.
And there's a load of stuff being added to Netflix that I'm like, okay, I need to crack on with that. Still haven't watched House of Dragons yet.
No. That's good. That's good.
I'm really enjoying The Rings of Power. I've just got the last episode I've still got to watch. But yeah, that's probably my favourite thing on telly at the moment.
Me too. That's my favourite thing. Yeah, I love it. And I don't mind that it's quite slow. I don't mind that it's got, because I just love all the lore and like all the that there's things in there and you go, that's that, and
What I quite like about it is because I was saying this to my mate at work, because he was like, they keep referring to stuff and I don't know what it is. I said, all of this stuff isn't from like a book. It's from like appendices that Tolkien wrote.
Yeah.
So they have like a page to go off, and I quite like that because it means they can fill the blanks in and they don't have to go. It's like if they redid Lord of the Rings tomorrow and just went, actually, we're gonna deviate away from the source material. Everyone would be up in arms, but here they've got quite a lot of freedom.
Yeah, exactly. They've got they've got characters. They were in a certain place at a certain time, and they were there because of this. But all of the dialogue and what happened in between those, exactly. Is all very much like open to interpretation. So I quite like. I love the look of the orcs in it. They look really cool with their like skull helmets and bits and pieces.
There was a guy who played one of the orcs in this, and it came up the other day, and I thought it was quite interesting. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's been in every live action Lord of the Rings thing so far, albeit films, TV, whatever. He played like an orc in like Fellowship. He played like an elf in like the second one. Then he played he played a hobbity guy in like he was in all the hobbits as like different orcs and stuff. They kind of make it a point to get him back for stuff.
Oh right, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
Try and find his name. But yeah, just a pointless fact that people might want to know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, Andor's good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else. Like hobbity guy. That's what they're called, hobbity guys. Yeah, I need to catch up on my telly. To be fair, I've got a load stacked up that I want to watch. But look, this is the main event here. So obviously, as you know, every single year, World War III on the network erupts as we all bicker amongst ourselves in the chat as to what came out this year and what didn't. And to be honest, I can't know what came out fucking last week, let alone what came out fucking 6 months to 12 months ago. So Pete had the cracking idea of let's go over them. Let's have a look at what we think so far, as we're 9 months into the year. We've only got 3 left. As to what's come out and what we think of it and where we think it would sit on the kind of ratings.
Yeah. So I don't get me wrong. I don't have this photographic memory of where everything came out. I thought, what's the easiest way? Okay, I'll flick through our old shows. So I went back to kind of December, because obviously there's always a little bit of a, what period does it run from? But obviously there's things that might have been released end of December in Hong Kong, but realistically we're not getting them until, so I think some of the earlier ones, like the Pennywise, technically came out in the December, but as that was after our last awards, then it would count. So I basically put the list together and I threw it at Ian and said, are you happy with that? Do you want to add anything? He just went, I don't give a fuck.
That's pretty much hauntingly accurate.
Yeah. So we've just to run through them, and then we can have a little chat about them. Chime in with anything that you think about these figures or any that we've missed. Obviously, we've got 3 months left. We're expecting some big releases. Definitely expecting the in-art Joker in the next 3 months. Possibly the Back to the Future one, Doc Brown.
October sideshow, I've said.
Yeah.
Next month.
And so we've got some some real contenders in the wings, but this is what we've got so far. So the haters out there might have a go and say that half of these are hot toys, but my view of it is that they still put out some cracking figures. Yes, their prices have got.
Go back and look at every single show on this network.
Yeah,
there's at least 3 or 4 hot toys per show that focuses on 6 scale.
Yeah,
you can't odds it.
No. Yes, they make some shit figures. They've cut some corners. Their prices are getting a bit pretty ridiculous, but they can still make a decent figure. And I think these 6 that I've gone with here, I think I think you'd have a hard time disagreeing that they were decent figures. You got the Mark 85 battle damaged Iron Man. We're out of Marvel, but it's a great figure, like the weathering on it and everything. The battle damage is great. Head sculpt he's got the revised one from the non-battle damaged. Brilliant figure. The
from
Pennywise
here zoomed out.
Yeah.
If you put longer hair on it, it looks like the sword fighter guy from Princess Bride.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that just pops into my head. That's a little insight into my mind for the lot of you there.
We've got Pennywise from It, which is a great figure. I own that one. In Art's bringing one out, but I don't think there's really a massive amount. Obviously, they're going with real hair, but it'll all be gelled to the max anyway to get that shape.
I don't look at the Hot Toys when I go, what a piece of shit. We need an upgrade.
It's pretty. It needed a little bit of weathering, but it's a great figure. Then we've got the. I put in the Arena Boba Fett because obviously that's kind of taken the world by storm. Everyone's loved that. The price of it went through the roof. You've made your own one.
That's the one. Stephen gets it.
Yeah.
You
you like the Boba Fett, don't you?
I do. I just don't like the price of it. it's not something that I'm even. I wouldn't even consider. It's just too fucking much for what it is.
Yeah, and we're taking price out of this. We're just looking, objectively at what is a good figure. And to me, it looks good, and everyone's been quite positive about the figure. We've got Ahsoka Tano, which I believe went down really well. I know they got the usual issue about should I bend her arms or not. Just,
the thing is with Ahsoka is the more I see it, the more I dislike it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The dead-eyed stare.
Yeah.
If you wanted a trans Ahsoka, not a problem. They've nailed it. Just the quality of the clothes don't look great to me. I tell you what, next time you're ever in town, go into a toy shop, go to the Barbies, and have a look at the clothing on them with the printed designs and stuff like that, and that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
All that clothing just looks as though it's a flat piece of material that someone has printed it on.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing's a fucking T-shirt from TeePublic.
Yeah.
So
obviously you're not going to be voting for that one yourself, and I'm not a massive fan of it either. I'm not a massive fan of it. I kind of threw that in because I know it was very much anticipated, and people were very positive about it to start with. But as you say, I think as time's gone on, people have gone, actually, it's not as.
I think
great.
People like it because there's no other option.
Yeah, yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, yeah, because the Mando one should be coming pretty soon. I think she's very much
should be soon
towards the top of the list with Bo-Katan as well. So they should be coming. Probably my pick of all of these, Snowspeeder Luke.
Yeah.
Hot Toys. Everyone loves that figure.
For me, I know when it's a good figure when I have to do minimal. Well, I feel the need to do a minimal amount to it. So taking off a fat suit, I don't even class that as modding it. Anyone who goes, fat suit mod, it's not a mod. You're just removing a fucking fat suit. You're undressing a figure. If you can undress yourself, you can undress a figure. Like it's not difficult.
No.
But that figure's fantastic. Other than the ridiculous fat suit, there's nothing really.
No, it is brilliant. It's fantastic. I mean, I owned the Sideshow one back in the day. It was okay. I've got a custom one, but to be honest, this one it's pretty much perfect to my mind. To the extent where I bought a second one to use, as I got a New Hope X-wing pilot now. Just swapped out some, So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the head sculpt could be better.
Yeah.
But once you stick the helmet on it,
yeah.
Hot Toys Luke sculpts are weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
You stick the hair on them.
It's often the hair, isn't it? That
take the hair off and look at it, and you go, "Oh, and I can see Mark Hamill now." And you put the hair on it and go,
"Yeah." And I actually don't, even considering that, I don't think this one's that bad. I've got him without the
It's the best of a bad lot.
It is. It's passable. It's passable, and I quite like the look of him holding the helmet because, but it's just a banging figure. I just think it ticks every box. I can't really think of anything unless you were being really, really nitpicky and comparing stuff to the real costume. I think you're just being too finicky, really, because I think it's great.
The only thing I did on mine was, I think on the right hand, I think I sliced one of the fingers. So
because it didn't have a gloved trigger finger. That was the thing. No. Because he doesn't ever use the blaster with the gloves on, and Hot Toys are very much like that, aren't they? If it didn't happen on screen, then we're not going to give you the option.
They're very selective when they decide to stick that, and this was a very weird decision not to just give. I mean, no, I guarantee. You go to Howard Chan's fucking house, and he's probably got fucking wardrobes full of 6-scale fucking hands of every shape, size known to man. Just chuck us it. If you chuck us a pistol, just chuck us some hands to be able to hold it in both hands. I don't think that's a big ask.
No, because
anymore.
People aren't necessarily going to want to just recreate something they saw on screen. They just want to have him, holding the pistol with his gloves on. That's not too much to ask. But anyway, cracking figure. That would be my pick for figure of the year. But very close behind would be Classic Suit Spider-Man from the PS4 game. To my mind, the best Spider-Man that anyone's made. Hot Toys have made, definitely.
Yeah. When I think of Spider-Man, that's what I think of.
Yeah. It's brilliant, and I've got him with the Miles, not the one with all the hoodie and stuff, the one before that, and with the Green Menace, and it looks bloody brilliant. You know, there's just such an iconic like comic book look to go with the So Toys Green Menace. People are going to say, "Oh, you can't pose it." I've got him in a fucking dynamic pose, and I don't really care. You know, if it makes a suit a bit baggy, you can put a bit of steam on it. But he's going to stay in that pose, so that doesn't really, you know, Spidey needs to be dynamic and moving about, and it is a brilliant. I mean, I know the price of it's gone up. You're looking at over 300, I think, now for it, because you get the base and the scorpion tail and everything. But I love it. I think it's great, and it was good to have a Spider-Man back, because I'd got out of Marvel like yourself, but I was always like, yeah, but Spider-Man could find a place, and
I've always said Spider-Man could drag me back in, and 90s animated X-Men could pull me back in quite easily. Thank fuck for me, no one's done them. Otherwise, I'll be straight back in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Spider-Man's always been tempting.
So that's the Hot Toys contingent, and then we've got the bottom rows. We've got Asmus Bilbo Baggins, which I think has surprised a lot of people. I think when it was initially solicited, people really focused on the head sculpt, saying, "Oh, it's too, you know, he's too angry looking, he's too dour faced." It comes with the weird second head sculpt where he's kind of possessed by the ring, and I don't think you could really display him with that. It's an odd one, but actually, once people got it in hand, I think they forgot all about the. You know, they actually thought, you know, I can work with that sculpt. It's not as extreme as it looks. You know, I've got him. It's quite a pensive look. So I've got him in his travelling gear. He's looking at the ring, you know, because he knows he's got to leave it behind and that kind of thing. And it's just fantastic. The proportions, the tailoring. I absolutely love it to bits. It's brilliant. It's a really good figure. And
it is a really nice figure.
At like 150. I know he's a little guy, but you know, in this day and age, it's a great figure, and I'm really love that. We've got So Toys Green Menace, Green Goblin, bloody brilliant. I picked him up a couple of weeks ago for an absolute steal. I think 140 I got him for.
Really good.
I mean, even knew he was about one.
Combined with that classic suit Spider-Man is just perfection.
It's bloody brilliant. I need to take a picture because I've got, you know, all three of them together. I had such a shitty evening. I was like, it took me about 4 hours, and every time I got them just right, they fell off the stand because they're all on the dynamic bendable poles, and with those you've got a very small margin of error, and if you move it slightly, the whole thing just goes. And I was
my Grievous is sitting on one of those stands, and that thing fucking flops around like a limp dick at the best of times. So trying to pose that fucker. It's just,
but honestly,
painful.
And I just got it right, and then one of them fell off, and then it fell on the floor, and I'm like, oh fuck, have I broken it? But it was all right, and I was getting really pissed off, but I eventually got it, and they just look so good together, a perfect match. So I think for me, he will get my vote for third party figure of the year. I think Green Menace. What
I thought was a really smart choice they made with those was by making the jets part of the stand, so you can have him on a flight pole if you want, but you can have him so he's only about 2 inches off the floor.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, fantastic idea.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Really innovative, and I think, you know, So Toys are fucking brilliant. Love it. You know, you get a lot of figure for your money. And they're really good. Then we got the Cosmic Plastic Bela Lugosi as Dracula. We've talked all about him. Tailoring is fantastic. 2 head sculpts. I really want one, but I'm trying to hold it out for trying to get one a bit cheaper. But I think they've done some. You know, the figures are good. They've done some weird ones. They did like Inspector Clouseau, and they've got that Dale Cooper. they're very sort of niche kind of, but what they do very well.
Yeah.
It's very high quality, and they've got some great artists and everything. So I think it's very much for me on this one they've delivered kind of what they promised. It's just obviously it's that sort of like higher end of the market, and might be a bit rich for my blood, but we'll see. Then we've got Q from XO6. Again, a bit out there, and a lot of people would probably say, well, if I had Q, I'd want him in a Starfleet uniform or something like that. But I think it's worthy of a mention because, again, the tailoring's fantastic on it. It's got good head sculpt. Everyone I've seen that's got it is really impressed. I think there's been someone printing the chair.
Yeah.
People have bought 3D.
Yeah, the judge's chair.
The floating chair. And he does it really good. He's got real kind of sort of shelf presence, as I say, and I think if you can get the crew eventually, then it would look brilliant, recreating that.
It's one of those that if at least I'd had a Picard, I would have gone for this, because then you compare them up and it makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it does. At the moment,
it's one of those. It's a weird one to start the next gen collection.
And I get maybe that it was to show off like what they could do with the tailoring and everything. That's fine, but as you say, it needs some companion pieces really.
But at this point, after they've done like the Discovery uniforms and shit like that, we know what they can do.
Yeah.
We know their tailoring's good.
It's very much their focus is the uniforms, I think. And getting the colours right and the right textures and stuff. That's very much their thing.
Yeah.
And then we've got I put in the quite a recent one, only come out a couple of weeks ago, but I really like it. And again, it's another one where it's another one where I've hovered over the buy button. It's the First Blood Rambo from 3.0. So following up from their Rambo 3 version, they've got the First Blood one, and I think it's really good. I love the outfit. The body's pretty good. It's seamless arms. It's got the shoulders, but you can kind of cover them up with the vest. I think the head sculpt's way better than the Stallone Studios version.
Yeah, 100%.
Which comes across as an oversized sort of caricature of Stallone, doesn't it? Which is weird, when he's made it himself. And obviously the Clipper King, he's been absent for many years, but he came out of retirement to do a Rambo review, and that really got me like, I would like to get him. So he's kind of on my radar as well. And again, you can pick him up for sort of 160, 170. Fairly bare bones, but in this day and age, that's a pretty good price. You get the gun and the bullet belts, and you get the knife with the little compass on the end and stuff like that. So it's iconic, and it's definitely to me the better of the three. Well, 5 movies we ended up with in the end, but the first one's the best, I think. Very gritty and then finally, I went with the Blitzwing Godfather. They brought out 2 versions. They brought out the tuxedo one and then the old man one with the oranges and stuff, which looks brilliant as well, and all the accessories. But I think iconic the tuxedo one with the chair and the whiskers. So it looks amazing. And when I saw the in hand pictures, I was really impressed. I think they'd kind of they didn't look like damn toys. Sorry. That they delivered on what they were. So that's cool. That's a figure that I would love to have in the collection. I don't think I'd have room with the chair and everything, but that stood out for me again from the tailoring and the sculpt and everything. So is there anything else that you kind of comes to mind that you'd stick in there?
I'm a big fan, and not a lot of people are, but I'm a big fan of Lando. Hot Toys Lando.
Yeah.
It was such a weird situation with a figure. For years, where's Lando? Lando. Put it up for pre-order. Everyone was like, fucking wanking themselves into oblivion about we finally get a Lando. It released. it didn't look 1,000 miles away from the prototype. It looked pretty good. Tailoring was on point.
Yep.
The cloak was pretty good. And then everyone hated it.
Yeah.
And
the
you could
price
pick it up
just
for
went,
like 130. I think,
Yeah.
130, 40 quid I paid
Yeah,
for
it's
mine.
about what we paid. Yeah.
Madness. I
know.
I think it's a really good figure.
It's a simple figure, but it's done really well.
Yeah.
I'd say. I don't think, like, a lot of people, the cape. But, you know, with a lot of these things, you got to futz them. You got to put some work in. It wasn't perfect, but
Clip
I
it
think
up at the back a bit. And
yeah,
fine.
definitely.
I think the only thing that I think Hot Toys dropped a bit of a bollock on was they stuck too closely to how the actual real life costume was, like with the loops under the arms.
Yeah.
If they just done what Sideshow had done and just had it so it just went over, or just
Magnets,
like the Kylo Ren.
Correct.
cape,
Yeah.
would have
I
been
think
absolutely
Yeah, you're
perfect.
right. I think, you know, sometimes that sort of small detail you don't need on a 1/6 figure because you don't really see it.
Yeah.
And as you say, it'd be better to have it in a way that you know, looked better on the figure. It's like with the Lugosi, that works the same way, but it seems to be better. It goes under the arms inside the jacket and then ties up at the back. And again, they didn't need to do that, and I think on that one it works a bit better. But yeah, no, I love the Lando. I think it's great.
I think it's
and
perfect.
to pick it up at a bargain price.
Makes it even better.
Yeah, exactly.
I quite liked both the Scout Troopers.
Yeah.
You might as well. They're both the same. They're just different
Yeah, I
packaging.
almost put him in, and I thought, well, he's not. It's not anything special, but they're just really well done, and that's just what, you know.
Yeah, exactly that.
Probably not got that special enough element to say it's a figure of the year, but I've got the Return of the Jedi one. You've got the Mando one. Great figures, really good.
Yeah, I'd like to see all the boots done like that, really, with the Velcro up the back, and in that kind of material, because it makes life so much easier. I'm trying to think of stuff that's come out this last year.
Yeah, see, Andre says Lando's a weird one. You have no idea why. I think a lot of people say it's because they couldn't get a Han Solo. Whether that's true or not.
Yeah, but there's a shit ton of Empire. There's probably more Empire figures out than there are for anything else. Like there's quite a lot more.
And like we've said, if you wanted a bloody Hoth or a Bespin Han, you can do it. We've all done it. Yeah. We've made them. You can do it. So it's not enough of a reason to say I'm not having an Empire display. Yeah. Because the Hoth layer is brilliant. You've got the original DX07 Luke, and they're re-releasing that. They're bringing out a new one. I think it's a shame to kind of. It's almost like cutting off your nose to spite your face. If you're missing out on some decent figures because of that one figure that you can't actually just go and buy, but with a little bit of effort, you could. You could do it. You could make one.
You got the SW Toys Joker. I mean, look, there's been loads of. This seems to be the year of the Nicholson Joker. There's loads of companies that come out of them.
Yeah.
So there's been a few of the Jokers that have been pretty good. Star Wars wise, I'm trying to. Stuff like Rex, was that this year or was that last year?
Yeah, that was
this year?
No, because I think he won
last.
Yeah, that was because that was in the last awards.
I'm getting confused between what's come out this year.
Yeah, because I think he won like the head sculpt or something like that. So yeah, he was at the back end of. Yeah,
that's it. I mean,
it's only Mark Pearson that got his like a month ago.
Yeah, that's funny guy. Funny guy.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of Mando figures. We've had the tank commander.
Oh yeah, and the Shore Trooper and the and they're all done really well.
Yeah. Tusken Raider was also another one I thought was pretty cool. Quite like the look of that. Mm-hmm. I've had to be really just hands off with the Mando stuff.
Yeah.
And just stick to.
And there's still a load to come because I think we've got. Like the next sort of wave of releases should all be Mando stuff. You've got Bo-Katan, you've got the Ahsoka Tano, you've got Quill with the blurg, you've got Mando with the blurg, Mando with the swoop bike, Chrome Mando. They're all like in the next.
Was IG beginning of the year? I seem to remember getting mine beginning of this year.
Yeah, it might.
That's probably that would be one that. The problem is that with looking back over the last year is. the stuff between January and March tends to be forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to wrap my brains, and I've got quite a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
which
at
is
the
why I
beginning of the
went
year,
back
and
through
I'm
stuff,
kind of
because I
thinking,
thought, if I was going off memory, I'd have missed some of these, because Pennywise was like right at the beginning of the year, almost the end of last year, but after the last awards.
Yeah, and I'm thinking back of stuff that there's obviously stuff that won't ever make this list, like Grievous. There's Sideshow,
exactly.
Clone Wars figures and things like that.
Yeah,
but then it's trying to split out what I got, like what I've gotten, what I picked up this year that actually has been out for a while, and I've just happened to pick it up this year.
It
would be good to do a category about some of the custom stuff that people have done and put out over the last year, because there's been some absolutely fantastic. If we look at some of Inigo's stuff, like that, the Obi-Wan sculpt he put out is probably the best head sculpt I've seen this year. Like, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
There's been some really, really good stuff. Really good stuff in the custom.
And Pablo said, I mean, the present toys indie kind of lit up the collector's world. I think it did a decent enough job. I think that when you break it down, there's probably most parts of it are replaceable, but the fact you get the 2 head sculpts with hats for that price is enough of a, because that is the real difficulty with it. You put together a custom indie, the clothing's not really an issue, you've got many options, but getting a decent head sculpt, so I think they nailed that. The price was what, 130, something like that. They were flipping on eBay for 400 or 500 quid.
Mad.
People went mad for them, done like £100 for the head and stuff. To the point where obviously they're doing a second run, which should be out fairly soon. Yeah, I've actually ordered one because I'm just interested to see. I might not end up keeping it, but I just thought I'll get one. I want to have a look, see what the
I'd be quite interested. Obviously, in what they're like.
Yeah, and obviously Pablo said that that at the very last minute they said that the jacket was going to be real leather, which is a nice touch. So I will be getting that in. I think as an indie collector, I wanted to kind of see what it was like in hand, and then I'll decide whether or not I want to use it or not. But I think that one was a big surprise, and it kind of enabled a lot of people to get an indie.
Yeah,
because the quality of the remaining DX05s with their rotting belts and stuff was,
and sometimes the lack of alternative choice makes something really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If your only alternative is to spend like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on a custom, or spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on a piece of shit falling apart DX.
Yeah.
God knows where.
No, I think my view would be that it's good enough. You can get it out of the box, you can futz with it a bit, and it looks good. But it's also a really good base if you want to start.
Yeah.
Putting some custom parts on it as well. So
put it on the shelf, and no one's going to come in and go, "Who the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
We all know who it is.
Yeah, and it's a million times the sculpts. All right, they're knockoffs, they're recasts, but they're recasts of someone that never paid to properly do it anyway. So I don't care about all that shit. And they're a million times better than the DX05 head sculpt.
The whole recast thing is a really complicated. You could probably do a whole show on that on its own and piss off a lot of people.
I don't think I'd want to be. You can argue it any way till the end. Till the sun goes down, and it's
all the time. The 6 scale, that argument's going to rage on and on and on.
Yeah. You're stealing someone's work. You're stealing someone's artistry, but they stole it from that person and they made a lot of money on it. Don't feel sorry for them, and that person then will bring out a slightly different version of it 3 months down the line. Everyone will buy that. So, to be honest, it doesn't bother me at all. They all know what's going to happen. They're all in the game. Make your money when you can, and move on. Just tweak it, and you can sell another custom sculpt. So I don't think, nobody's really starving over it. So, yeah.
No.
So I think there's some strong figures, and we got some a lot of figures to come, as we all know. I mean, the backed up kind of pre-orders on Hot Toys is reaching ridiculous levels.
So just on mine, I've got, and I'm probably going to, like I say, I'm going to cancel probably most of these, but Jesse's still got to come out this year.
Oh yeah, Jesse.
So you've got Jesse, then it's Doc from Back to the Future 1.
Yeah.
And then there's rumours they might get moved up, but I doubt they will. So they may come out this year, but they're probably still going to be January to February, March time next year. Is the other Back to the Future 3 stuff.
Yeah, cowboy ones. Yeah.
Got Patrick Bateman.
Apparently,
that's been delayed again.
Pushed back to Q1 next year because of the hair, getting the hair pieces right on the mad.
I mean, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to cancel it. It's because it's landing right when I've got a load of other stuff coming out, and I feel bad because I've pre-ordered it with Lee, and I cancelled the other one, the Evil Dead one, because I was like, I can't spend that money on it. It's just too bad a figure. But I really want this one. I've got no doubt it's going to be a good figure.
Yeah.
But if it's a choice between Patrick Bateman and the two Back to the Future figures.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
I'm Back to the Future all day long.
Exactly. No, this is the thing, and I don't think you should feel bad about it. I think people are expecting this. You know, it's become a lot more prevalent because people can't. All of a sudden, they've got 3 or 4 figures coming in a month, and you just can't justify shelling out for them. So I think it's not quite as bad. You shouldn't feel so bad about having to cancel stuff because everything's just obviously is all crammed up. I've got a few bits that originally should have come this year. I don't know if they will. And I'm looking forward to the Doc. I think he's going to look really good with all his accessories and stuff. The head sculpt's not great. It's not perfect, and that would probably hold it back from making it into this list. But I still want him. And obviously you've got to have him. With your Back to the Future stuff.
I've got the DeLorean. I've got Marty. I've got Back to the Future 2 Marty. I've got Back to the Future 2 Doc.
Yeah.
I need Back to the Future 1 Doc, and I need the
Back to the Future
Back
3.
to the Future 3
and then you've got
Doc and Marty.
The lot.
And I'm happy. The only thing I haven't got then, the only figure I'd be missing to complete the set would be the melted candled.
Oh, well, that's
with the figure, with the figure they released of Michael J. Fox's stunt double. That was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
this year.
That was.
Yeah, that won't be making this list.
No, I don't think so. No,
that was an utter turd of a figure.
So at some point, and as far as they haven't done already, there's a company that makes all the dogs, aren't there? I'm surprised they haven't done one because their stuff's really good. I mean, they just brought out a load of corgis, which obviously is very topical. But, at some point, surely they're going to bring one out that looks a bit like Einstein and we can all grab that.
We've all been put down next week.
Yeah. Well, they've gone to Andrew, haven't they? So.
Bit young for him, though, aren't they?
We all know that kids like dogs, so it's a good...
True.
It's a good in for him, isn't it?
True. It put him in the back of that converted ice cream van he's got. It's already fitted out with cages. He was the most logical choice.
Oh, like the child catcher from Bang Bang.
That's it. That's it.
So I think it's been okay. I think it's been a decent year. There's been enough decent figures. There's been some shit. There's been a lot of shenanigans and bollocks and stuff. But I think just looking at these and some of the other ones that people have talked about in the chat, I think you shouldn't be disappointed. There's enough good stuff out there.
What I have noticed about this year, probably more than others, is there has really been. It's not been dominated by one franchise. It's not been just like a few years back. It was constant Marvel. Like everything else had to fight to get a look in.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, when we look back at this last year, there's been a lot of Star Wars. There's been a lot of Marvel. There's been a lot of comic type stuff come out. There's been a lot of DC coming out. There's these niche figures coming out like the Dracula like The Godfather, Rambo figures, Star Trek. You know, we're getting a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that...
Yeah, there's a lot of them sort of revisiting 80s movies and that sort of thing, which is cool.
Yeah, if we went back 3 years, no chance. You wouldn't see half of this.
No.
This would all just be 90% Marvel with probably a spackling of Luke Skywalkers.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're starting to see a lot more variety.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
A lot
it's
more
good.
variety.
Yeah, a lot more choice. Which is good.
Yeah.
Something for everyone.
Exactly that, Pete.
Yeah.
Right. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, it's a good chat there. So, I mean, it won't be long before, probably next month, we'll be starting to talk about the awards and, you know, working on our shortlist. I know it fucks you off.
Cannot wait.
But that's the only category that you've got any real interest in. And some of them we've never even heard of the figures, and we just piss about and take the piss, don't we? But obviously, like, we're mostly about 1/6, so that's the one category that sort of really matters and that we've really qualified to have any opinion on, I suppose. And I own 6 of those 12 figures, I think. So, you know, I've got them in hand, and I can kind of vouch for the, you know, that they're decent figures. So, and there's a couple more that obviously there that I would like to track down at some point. But so that's kind of the end of the show. I will now give a shout out to our wonderful, beautiful Patreonies. Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rennie Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Barada, Thomas Clark, Dan Lee, Dinny Martin, Stephen Kratt, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Marroquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bermondsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Asusina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Takar 3 Wah, Derek Bezadzinski, Aries Portillo, Pablo Meza, Carlos Sevilla, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PS, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Rhea Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all as always. It's always great to see some new names on there. We've got Aries just joined us, so welcome, thank you. I think it's going to get to that point where we need a 4th column. I don't quite sure how much smaller the text can get before I can't read the fucking thing. The 3 pillars may become the the 4 legs. So and bring it on. All the more the merrier. If you want to, I'm just going to put a link here. If you fancy joining the Patreon, get on board. We've got Sweet Angel at $5 per month. Gets you a sticker sent straight to your door. So there's access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy is $15 a month. You get all the benefits of the previous tier, plus official Certified Crispy certificate and assistance with figure fixes by Zach. And then the What a Guy at $25 per month gets you the What a Guy exclusive POG Deluxe set on first page. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can send them to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tier. International postage above $5 will be charged at cost for the POGs. So we've got the September stickers. We've got the 2,000 subscribers sticker. Big moment for us, and then we've got the Live and Let Die sticker as well. So we're just over halfway, 2/3 of the way through September. So you probably still got time to get on board and get those. And then October, we've got the Does Anybody Work sticker from John, which is a classic. Everyone's been asking for that one, so that's a good one. And we're just trying to narrow down the Halloween sticker. So hopefully by CW show next week, Zach and the gang will be able to show you what that one is. Have you watched just to mention, you watched Monday's unboxing?
No, I've been really bad. I've not really watched anything.
I put that clip in the chat, but so it was the unboxing. Zach was on there, and he's not normally on there, and he was kind of in the background. He was doing stuff, and they kind of got to the end, and they were chatting about something. And he said, "Oh, I've just been looking at the analytics for the show in terms of like where people are watching and listening," and he said, "And we've got 1,300 plays from people in Southend-on-the-Sea."
Yeah.
And I was like, I fucking love it. And he's like, so thank you very much to those people in Southend-on-the-Sea, blah blah blah. And I'm like, boom. So I went on there. I was like, that's where I live. I said, it's all the people. It's like my mate, and it's the couple of people that I've sold figures to that have come and collected it. And I've gone, I've got a podcast like Stephen Rosen, and all that. So it's like shout out to the Southend on the Sea. I didn't correct him on that because I quite like it. And
on the sea.
That's
a
sea.
boat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just that's the Southend boat.
And like Zach had no idea, like when he shouted it out, it's just that the numbers popped up. And I was like, "Oh, mate, I love it. So
Southend.
Southend. So it's all my boys down here getting the views in, and it's brilliant. I loved that. It made my day. That did. We've also got YouTube channel members. We've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avengers 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andrew IB, Daminator Zamgist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big Old Fern, OG Fan, The Penricas, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Lima Hernandez, Carlito, CT603, Eddie Mendez, love you Eddie, happy birthday for yesterday, day before, Luke Fredericks and Sia Dreams. If you want to become a YouTube channel member, you can join the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 a month, or if you're already a Patreon, you get it for the bargain price of 99 cents a month. You get loyalty badges, you get emojis, and you get member shout-outs on the show. So, gotta be worth doing. And then we have TeePublic. We have lots of different T-shirts. It's quite an old slide. There's probably more different ones on there, but you've got the best one, the OFAC one down in the corner there. But if you wanna support the network, you wanna wear us on your chest, then we have T-shirts galore on TeePublic, and I will drop a link to that. And then that is me, and I will hand the end of it over to you, good sir.
Thank you. So this is the network. This is us. This is everyone. We've got 9 amazing shows for you lovely, lovely people. We've got Collecting Weekly. And I just got to say, 23 people still watching us drivel on after an hour and a bit. That's it. Normally by now I'm just talking shit to about 3 people. So thanks for sticking about. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. It normally drops off to like half, but I suppose because we had the nice figure debate after what is filmed is the end, it kind of kept people. So it's good. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
What watchers they all fuck off now? So oh, hang on, we got a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Why She-Hulk is shit and a difficult wank. I mean, I'll be honest, Stephen. I managed it. It's fine.
To be honest, mate, your standards are pretty low, though.
They are. To be fair,
you had a good time watching the Deep go deep on that octopus.
That was fine. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. What we got here is what we've got. Unless you mean other toys, in that case, the Angel Love is good. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so this is probably the best comment so far.
Yeah,
the pinnacle of podcasting.
Very true.
We should get that on a sticker. The pinnacle of podcasting. So, anyway, these shows aren't going to slag themselves off, are they? No. So, we've got Collecting Weekly live on every week. I'd love to say I know what they talk about, but I haven't actually watched it in probably about 2 months. That's just because I've got other things to do, like living a life. But They are, for what I remember, it was a very good show, and they are very nice people.
It is a good show, yes.
It is a very good show. And to be honest, every time I tune in, I'm like, I know like 2 people here now. What's going on? So After Dark, which is the seedier side of things, again, more people, I don't know who they are, but it's a lot of back-to-back wanking and things like that, which is fantastic. We've got Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, which is where everyone puts on little fancy gloves and unboxes massive statues, which makes me feel very, very inferior about my life. So that's worth doing. Look, the reason we're here, the glue that holds this network together,
Exactly.
the swearier side of collecting, us, OFAC, let's be honest, we're the reason this network exists. We're the reason that
we
everyone
tell it
keeps
how it
coming
is.
back.
We don't sugarcoat shit.
yeah.
If we hate it, we'll tell you.
If it weren't for us, this whole endeavour would just crumble into dust. So remember, we're here for you. So we've got Bricks and Brews. This middle bit of the slide generally is whatever Zach's latest hobby is. So once he gets bored of Lego, it'll probably be 3D printing and Dungeons and Dragons. But we just
it's going to be Warhammer now, isn't it?
It'll be Warhammer.
The Warhammer show.
That's it. It'll be Warhammer.
Yeah.
I'll gladly go on that one. Collectors Club, which is a group of collectors who have a club. Who would have guessed? We've got Small Talk, which is, again, I say this every fucking week. Fuck that for a laugh. The amount of stuff that comes out in their scale is ridiculous, and how they keep. I struggle to keep up with all the 6 scale stuff.
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, I've been phoning it in. These guys are proper on the ball with it. So all the power to you. The Ringcast, which sounds disgusting, but it isn't.
It does.
It really isn't. So they should have loads to talk about.
Well, embarrassingly, we're going to be 5 episodes into the Rings of Power on tomorrow, and we haven't had a show about it yet.
If they ever do a series 2 and Mark sobers up for it, he'll be there. He'll be ready to go.
Come on, Mark, let's do it. We don't even need a show sheet. We're just going to talk about the show.
Wild Hamiltons. Have a look back at some of our other OFAC episodes, because we did one Christmas time, all about 3D printing, because I was begging Zach to get a printer because I thought he would really, really enjoy it. And he has.
It took him 9 months, but
took him 9 months, but he got there.
He only did it because he stole half the money off Mark, but
that's why they call him that's why they call him the Sticky Bandit.
Yeah, he was too cheap to buy one for himself. But when Mark went, I'll give you half the money. He's like, yeah, that's cool. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
he's been printing some cool stuff. He's been showing us the stuff he's been doing. It's been very cool.
Yeah.
And then we got Live and Let Dice, which is the Dungeons and Dragony type thing. I can't slag that off. I'd quite like to play Dungeons and Dragons. I just don't have entire 12-hour periods.
How dare you? I can sit there. and also 1 in the morning till 6 in the morning as well. If we were to play with them live.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not a young man anymore. I struggle past 10 o'clock at night. I can't be doing that.
I'm completely with you. If I could, circumstances allowed it, and we were in the same time zone, I'd be playing it as well. I'm really tempted to. I've been buying the figures. I've bought the player's handbook. We bought the, as well as we were talking about before the show. We got like the Warhammer 40,000 starter kit because my boy's just getting into it, so we're gonna start that. We've also got the Stranger Things D&D set, which again is like a initiation into it. It's supposedly the story that Will was doing before he got taken to the upside down. So it's just like a way of like introducing. You've got their characters already made, and it's just a way of like starting to learn the game. And I've always it would be great to play it, but we're doing EU. It'd be good to like maybe do a one-off. I know they've done a one-off with some other guys, so it would be good. I'm not going to pretend that. What's that?
I'll have to show you this one. There's a 40k model someone's done.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah,
it's the Queen in tank.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I'd love one of those.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we should
try
all
and get the files and print one.
Yeah, we should all have one of those. That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But that's our network. That's us. Give everyone a listen. They're all good guys. As much as I take the piss. I mean, to be honest, I don't know half of them, but the ones I do know, I quite like. They're all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, give it a go. What's the worst?
We've it's a great network, and I try and I do watch all the shows. It sometimes takes me a little while, but you know, it keeps me going through a work day. Having these boys in my left ear most of the day. So yeah,
so many jokes I could make them, but there's just
I know
not enough time.
exactly. That's what I was letting.
So
I was
many jokes.
open the door for you, mate. But
I mean, we touched on Prince Andrew enough today.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but no, it's a great bunch of guys. You know, they're a lot of them are very excited because OxCon is taking place next month, where a load of them are flying down to Zach's place. So that would be good. But yeah, no, it's yeah, we've got a good gang. We have a good laugh, and hopefully put out some half decent content. Yeah.
We can.
Well,
we try. We tried, didn't we, Pete?
yeah, yeah.
That's the important thing.
We enjoy it anyway. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, brilliant. Still got 25 people, so thank you very much for
Fucking hell, they're keen, aren't they?
sticking with us all the way through to the end.
Yeah. It's a slow night. There's not much on telly.
No, but yeah.
They've all watched Andor. They're all disappointed with She-Hulk. There's really nothing else to watch.
They've gone like we're really like we're just down. We're just sad. We'll just put these guys on.
Yeah, exactly. Let's listen to these two guys fucking complain for the entire night.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys.
Right.
Well, look.
Yeah.
I think that is about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're done. I mean, that's a pretty sharp show as well. 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Yeah, we've been nailing it recently, but then that's because there's not a lot. We're going to have some shows by the end of the year that are going to be like 4 hours because so much.
Lane will be
come
back
out,
on.
But well, yeah, you said that, mate. I think he has threatened to go. He did threaten earlier on to come back on again. So we'll have to.
He can. I said to him in the week, he can come on whenever he wants. He's good as gold, Lane. He can come whenever he wants.
Definitely. We love to have any crossover. Like Eddie was saying, he missed us, so we need to get Eddie on again at some point soon.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We do. So,
yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and
Thank
we
you.
will see you all next week.
Yeah.
Tatty bye.
Couple of weeks.
Well, a couple of weeks, whenever.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be back at some point. We'll crop up like a bad smell.
We will be. We will be back. Yeah.
See you later then.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.